What's up, everybody? This is Matt. I am on with my new channel with my buddy Jose here. We are the Steelers State of the Franchise, the episode we're calling it today. We're going to touch on a few things. The Steelers game from Sunday, of course, against the Jags. We'll get into that a little bit. We'll get into the upcoming game against the Ravens. And there's a couple other things I wanted to talk about that's kind of got my blood boiling that we talked about a little bit. So I'd just like to introduce my buddy Jose. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you. First time.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. All right, let's get into it, man. Sunday, Jaguars in Jacksonville. We won 27-3. There wasn't really a point in the game. I don't know about you. It wasn't really a point in the game where I felt like we were in danger of losing.
Not at all.
I thought the first quarter was a little shaky, but then they got it together. And just kind of kept going from there.
I felt the same way. The first quarter did seem a little shaky, but I mean, as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I feel like that's how we always start the games anyway. It's kind of like a boxing match. We try to fill each other out, and it's always been a slow start for us.
Oh yeah, man, we love giving people heart attacks, man.
Yeah, facts.
So just a couple of little quick stats from the game. I just wrote down here. Ben was 32 of 46, 267 yards, 2 touchdowns. They have the pick that I had a slight issue with because, man, throw the ball away. Throw the ball away. It's the end of the half. You're in field goal range. If it's not there, throw it away.
Yeah, I kind of saw what he was going for. He did that against I forget who it was, where he threw the that one pick going into halftime, and
Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah, he just was trying to toss it up to some, hoping and praying that somebody was going to catch it. But I mean,
it worked out as basically like a punt, sort of.
Right, yeah. I mean, because we ended up getting the ball back anyway at second half, so.
Yeah, and then we pulled away. So, it didn't cost us or anything, but I would just like to see him stop doing that. There were a couple throws I thought he was a little bit off on too in that game. I don't know how much of the game you watched, but there were a couple throws that he missed. But I mean, nothing major like that would have cost us the game or anything. Yeah. But he easily could have had more than one interception that I saw.
I think so too. Yeah, he but Ben's like that too, man. And it's he's got a cannon for an arm. So I mean, he's definitely going to try these defenders and whatnot.
Yeah. He's a gunslinger, man, but you got to also.
Man. He's always giving the receivers an opportunity, man, to try and come down with that ball. So can't be mad at him. But like I said,
24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the year, coming off of a major elbow surgery to his throwing arm. I think that's pretty damn impressive, if you ask me.
Yes.
I mean, they can say what they want about our, schedule and all that shit, but I mean, it's still hard to line up every single week and produce after having that kind of surgery.
Yeah, and it's the NFL, man. I'm like, you never know what you're going to get, man. Every single game, you got to go out there and play, hard. And I think the Steelers they're not taking anybody lightly. And like they said in an interview before, they're going to, Mike Tomlin said, everybody that we face, they're going to come out throwing their best punch. So, I mean, and that's what it is. Everybody wants to, I believe we're the team to watch. Because we are undefeated.
Yeah.
But like I said, we holding it down though. So I'm excited.
Got a good game from our receivers. Deontay, he went off. He had like 111 yards or something like that.
Yep.
And,
I got it.
Claypool, of course, you can't say enough about Claypool. He is only one of 4 different guys that has gotten 10 touchdowns in his first 10 games.
Yep.
And the last 3 guys that did that were in the 50s and 60s. So, so that kind of tells you. It's not easy to do.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah, but we're frauds, though, right?
Yeah. Let somebody else to the story,
Yeah. And I do like the connection that Ben, because how Ben has loved his tight ends, over the years, Every time I say that, I always get a stupid little laugh from people or some shit, oh, he loves his tight ends, but no. He does love his tight ends.
Where else with that, man? Yeah, but I mean, I think Eric Ebron I was excited when we picked him up. I know that. He's a big target for us, especially in the red zone. I know you mentioned that before, but I mean, he's quick, man. I mean, he's not just another body out there on the field, man. He's quick. He's got hands.
Mhm.
He can block. I was excited for him.
Yeah, and he prior to last year when he was in Indianapolis, because he was working with Jacoby Brissett last year because Andrew Luck up and retired like the day before the season started.
Yeah.
You know, but before that season, obviously you can't fault him for having a down year with a backup quarterback. We know all about that. You know. But the year before, he led the league in touchdown receptions by tight end. He had 13 with Andrew Luck. And I think a lot of people kind of forgot about that when he had a down year with Jacoby. So, good for us. We got him on the cheap. So,
Hell yeah. We definitely picked him up, man. Like I said, I've always been a fan. But let me see. What else? Let's talk about Connor, the run game.
Yeah. This is the first time that they had over 100 yards collectively since week 6 when they played Cleveland.
Yeah, man. I like Connor,
but I know the but's coming.
There's always a but, dude. Yeah. Like Connor, but he's not consistent enough for me. No. I think there were a few plays that I've seen where, what I'm saying, if he just followed the blockers, to the outside, he probably would have had the whole field in front of him. But, he would decide to cut back in and try and take on like two other guys.
And that's my thing, man. It's like he's not fast enough to do that.
Yeah.
He can't bounce around to the outside like Le'Veon could have, because Le'Veon's got speed and he's elusive.
Explosive, man. But I seen a little bit of potential like that, from Connor. But I don't know. Like I said, I think if he was just a little bit more patient behind the blocker, just like Bell was, I think he could probably be a lot better. He could do a lot better. Yeah. But
honestly, man, I think that they should make Benny Snell the main guy. Because I think he's a better, more effective running back. I mean,
he's probably a little bit more elusive. He's definitely got some moves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and prior to this game, this was kind of an embarrassing stat considering the Steelers are supposed to know how to run the ball. But prior to him having that 100 yards or the team having that 100 yards rushing, there were 3 straight weeks against I forget who we played last week. Bengals, the Bengals, the Cowboys, and the Ravens. Those 3 games, we had less than 50 yards rushing in each one of those games.
Yeah,
that's not going to get it done.
It really isn't, man. And then especially if you're going to try and play, conservative like that. You want to try and get the run game going, but you really can't. I mean, if you can't move the ball on the ground, then the only we see it,
Yeah.
We got to go through the air.
Yeah, especially when you go up against teams like Kansas City.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. Because I'm like, if our run game ain't producing like that, then got no choice but to throw it. And like you said, again, especially against Kansas City, man, because they are they're an explosive group. But I won't say that they can't be stopped.
Right. Watch the Raiders game,
Yeah.
A hell of a run, so.
Yeah, all it is, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's the NFL.
Yeah.
Basically, anything can happen. There's a lot happening right now in the league.
Yeah.
2020 itself is just.
Yeah, it's one of those years, crazy years. We haven't really had a year quite like this, but.
This year is special, man. But I don't know. Like I said, we just gonna just keep. Mm-hmm. We gotta keep playing these games, man. Like I said, if we're gonna run the ball, I was hoping actually even by the before the trade deadline that we were gonna try and pick up like another back or something.
Yeah.
To kind of help us out a little bit, but.
As well as I do, man, as Steeler fans, the Steelers don't go after free agents. They just don't.
Yeah.
Or big names or whatever,
Yeah, that's true too, man. That's true too. They got a little system of their own going, happening over there. But
yeah, but that's a good kind of segue into my next thing is the defense. I mean, what hasn't been said about that defense already? You know, I mean, they're beastly, championship level. They're ready for a Super Bowl. It's just our offense has got to catch up.
Um, yes, and that's what it is too, man. I'm super stoked about the defense because the defense is definitely making it happen for the group. And I'm like, we're kind of leaning a little bit on the defense, you know what I'm saying, to help us get through these games, man. But like I said, I mean, if we can just get the run game going to, make the passing game a little easier, and I really honestly believe that we can put up a whole lot more points on the board.
Yeah.
It's just there's just certain things that are just slowing us down. Even with I mean, I know. We talk about our receivers and whatnot, but we got young receivers. Deontay Johnson is definitely one that's progressing. He's looking good, man. He's looking better and better.
Mm-hmm. He's like what I like to call the poor man's AB.
Yeah. I mean, but like I said, but there were times where I seen Ben like sling the ball to him, and it's like it's a bullet, and sometimes he can't really, grab it. Like, there's a few drop passes that I felt like, if you got a hand on it, you gotta catch it.
Yeah, that's the old football cliche, man. If it hits you in the hands, you gotta catch it.
Got to. But like I said, I think right now our receiving core is looking better and better as the games go by. The running game is needs improvement. We got to do something about that.
Yeah, it was better this week, but this week was the Jags. So
right. And again, like I said, with our defense is definitely doing its job. Even holding what's dude's name? Was it? Is
James Robinson? Yeah, he's on my fantasy football team, so I know he didn't have a good game. So.
Dude, the Jags only used him for running the ball. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know if they had another back available, but they only had him running the ball.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't see really anybody else. I mean, unless I missed that.
Oh, that was it, dude. I mean, from what I see, because I got a little stat sheet too, and he had 17 attempts for 73 yards rushing. He broke out. He had an 18-yard run, but I mean, other than that, we're shutting him down. Even the rookie, the QB, he wasn't really getting anything through the air. 16 for 37 for 151 yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and don't forget those 4 interceptions he threw.
I'm talking about really, and listen, our front line is I don't even feel, bro. Like,
one of the best in the league, if not the best.
Yes, because if you look back, even at the interceptions and whatnot, I mean, a few of them came from batted balls. They were just up in the air, ready to come right down.
Yeah, of course, a couple of them did come because they had Jake Gluten starting, and he clearly is not a starter in this league. And I saw a couple of these
overthrown. Yeah.
I saw a couple of them. He's like, he throws it way over his receiver's head, and like Terrell Edmonds couldn't even believe he had the ball. It's like, oh shit, I got a pick, my first career pick since he's been drafted, and he had 2 in that game.
2. I was gonna say 2. Yeah. He had 2 in that game, and then Minka had 2 in that game too. So I was like, listen. That's safety love for you back there. They was both back there.
For Minka, it's just another day at the office,
Right. I was happy, man. I was super excited, man. Damn, like, and one of them interceptions, I got so damn excited. I jumped with my hands and punched the ceiling and shit. And I almost took out a light.
Ugh,
but yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we looked good as a group. We definitely went out there. We looked great. Stopped the Jags. Jags really couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to say about the game.
I just kind of echo what Mike Tomlin said. It's like the only thing perfect about us is our record. Yeah.
That's true. And now that I'm looking back at the stat sheet, there's something else that did jump out at me, which I think again goes back to us being able to put more points on the board. And an area that we're kind of struggling is our third down conversion.
Yeah.
It says here we were 7 for 17 on third down.
Yeah, and they've had some trouble because they go through offensive lows, man. It's almost like they're scared to throw the ball down the field sometimes,
Yeah,
you know?
I don't like that stat.
Yeah.
I
But
think.
I like 10-0 though.
Oh no, yeah. I definitely love 10-0. That looks great. But but like I said, I think we got enough firepower to really get the ball moving. We could put more points on the board, man.
Yeah. I mean, coming into this game, we were averaging 30 points per game, which was fourth in the league, so that's pretty good, I think. But I did think that they were kind of conservative with their play calling, but I was talking to my brother about this too because he said the same thing, that he thought that they were, conservative. But I was like, think about it though, man. Like they're going on the road down south to Florida on a short week where they've got Baltimore on Thanksgiving. Like they're probably not gonna go as hard as you would think they would, even schematically. They're not gonna throw everything out at Jacksonville. You know.
That's true. And I can see that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not just this game that they've played conservative. There have been other games too where they just get into a funk and they just start playing conservative.
Dude,
I just
honestly,
don't get that.
yeah, if you ask me, I think they go into every game trying to play, traditional football.
Mhm.
Like I said, and that's where, like I said, we get the slow starts. That's
I lost you for a second there.
yeah. So we keep running the ball.
Mhm.
And basically we're trying to set up the pass, but it's like, how the hell are we going to set up the pass if we can't run the ball?
Yeah, I mean,
And then we always get stopped like that, and I feel like every time we go into a game starting, like doing that, just try to play conservative,
mhm.
the other team is already, they're kind of already ahead of us. They can kind of predict what we're going to do. That's just how I feel.
Yeah,
And
no,
that's why, that's why I feel like, every game with us, it almost, it's like they want to give us a heart attack.
man, I tell you what, when I went to the Dallas game a couple weeks ago, I was in Dallas for that one. That's got to be the single most stressful game I've ever been to in my
Oh
life.
shit, bro.
I mean, we don't have to get into it, so in depth, obviously, because that was a couple weeks ago. But
Yeah.
man, talking about heart attacks.
Dude, man, I was so stressful, man, in that game because I just knew, man, if they freaking won, we was gonna hear all kinds of shit, and
Because Cowboys fans are the most insufferable fan base in all of football, and all of sports, really. I mean,
yeah,
I'd rather talk to a Patriots fan than talk to a Cowboys fan. That's just my opinion.
yeah. Gee, well, I guess you got a good heart because I can't stand Patriots fans either.
Well, I can't either, but then again, I don't really contact or in contact with many of them, because of course they're all hiding now because they suck ass again.
Yeah, now, yeah,
So
it's like
all those Patriots fans, they're Buccaneers fans now.
facts.
Yeah. But all right, I don't want to get too off topic, but just that's kind of it for the Jags game.
Yeah,
We pretty much covered that. Held them to 206 offensive yards and 3 points, which is the lowest total that we've held any opponent to all year long in both
yep, that's true.
categories.
Yep.
Outside of that, that's kind of all I've got for that game. I'd like to kind of look a little bit into the Ravens now.
Yeah.
Big game Thursday, obviously, as they always are when it's Steelers Ravens. You
Yes.
can. I don't give a shit that the Ravens have been struggling. I don't care about any of that shit. This is
Yeah.
Steelers Ravens.
Like I
Throw
said,
all that
yeah,
shit out the window.
we're now this is a game where we can't take them like we have to. We already played them once and we held Lamar Jackson in check. Now with this game, I feel like we may have I mean, we've already got one up on them, but they're gonna try and come out and they're gonna try and push to get this win, dude, because they
Oh,
need it.
they're
Yeah.
desperate.
Yeah, especially after that loss yesterday against who was it that they played
The
in
Titans.
overtime? It was Tennessee, wasn't it?
Titans. Yeah, Derrick Henry went off again.
Yeah. So they need this. They need this. But right now, I mean, even as the season is going, I think it's showing that Lamar Jackson is struggling a little bit with the passing game and whatnot.
Yeah, he's a
Um,
running back. He's a running back playing quarterback.
yeah, definitely right. And I think they are ranked first in rushing, are they not?
Yeah, they are. They're best rushing team in the league, which I mean you would expect considering they got Lamar Jackson. He is a
Right.
rushing quarterback. He could
Yeah.
either be a running back or a punt returner. You know, probably
Yeah.
more punt
Yeah.
returner because he's more
Right.
elusive and he's built like a fucking toothpick.
Yeah, bro.
So,
But he's
but
quick, man. He's got some speed. But like I said, me personally, I think going into this game, I'm feeling pretty confident actually. I think we've got all the right pieces to do it again, to get this game going again.
yeah,
And
I think we'll beat them again. I don't think it's going to be close. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a blowout or anything like that. I think it's going to be close, but I do think that we will beat them. And I'm not scared of Lamar Jackson as a passer. I'm just
nah, neither am I. Yeah.
like,
After that amazing year that he had last year, it was great. This year, I am not concerned at all.
yeah,
I'm like, if anything, he needs to be worried because it's like one wrong move, and we got guys right there waiting
yeah, ball
to
hogs, man.
pick up that. Yeah, I'm talking. We got guys back there.
Yeah. We lead the league in takeaways, lead the league in sacks.
Yeah,
So,
and that guy's only going to be able to do but so much, especially behind his line, because we're definitely gonna throw the pressure. I believe that.
and a big thing to look out for in that game too is Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell is on their defensive line. He did not play against Tennessee. It's because he was hurt or something. And
Yeah,
if he's not there next week against Pittsburgh, then that's going to be a good opportunity for us to try and at least run the ball and get some kind of running game going, at least.
that's true. That's
But
true. Yeah,
also, another thing is their offensive line is very battered up too. Their big guy, Ronnie Stanley, he tore his ACL against us, I think. And
oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, and their
Shit,
tight
yeah.
ends out too. Their main, well, Mark Andrews is their main guy, but their other guy, Boyle or whatever his name is,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
he's out too. So
Even
they've got a lot of injured guys.
they're down two guys too. Two running backs. I think Mark Ingram and somebody else tested positive for COVID, so I don't think they're going to be
Oh,
playing on Thursday.
wow, I didn't see that. That must have just happened today.
Yeah, yeah. I got the notification that was the one article that I told you I couldn't get a chance to really dive into, but it came up.
Yeah, well, that'll be interesting then. Yeah, I mean, if Mark Ingram's not playing, then he didn't play in the
Yeah.
first game either, though. So
No.
he
Yeah.
was hurt.
So
He had like an ankle or something like that.
yeah.
But yeah,
Either way, I
so,
mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure that I'm feeling confident about this game. I
yeah,
mean, I know it's a short week and whatnot, but I think because of
short
this,
week for them too.
yeah. But I think because of this big win that we got from over here against the Jags, I think we're still gonna carry that over into this game, and we're gonna produce. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I
So,
think we're gonna, and if we win that game, that's basically the division on lock. Because
yeah, we
I
pretty
know
much.
Cleveland's 7-3, they ain't catching us. All right, they're not catching
Yeah,
us.
no, I don't think because they got to play us again, and we
Yeah,
already know what happened the first time around.
yeah,
So
we beat the brakes off them. So,
yeah, so
but
I just don't see.
the only thing that they would have a leg up on if they were to beat us is I think is if we just rest our starters because that's the last week of the year.
That's
You know,
yeah,
and if we already
yeah,
have the first round bye locked up by then,
yeah,
because KC's still got to play Tampa Bay next week. So that's going to be interesting. If they lose that game, Pittsburgh's going to be set up very nicely.
yeah.
So if they lose and Pittsburgh wins, then we'll have a 2-game lead for the first round bye. So
I'm cool with that. That sounds good to me. I
yeah, if
mean,
it gets to that point, we may not even play our starters, and then the Browns might win that game. But
facts.
because Tomlin and the Steelers, they don't give a shit about going undefeated. That's
No,
not
they
what
said
they
it
want to
themselves.
do.
Right? Yeah, they're not chasing perfection. No, not no 16. We
Uh,
chase. Look, what they say, we chasing Lombardies.
exactly.
They said,
They're not
yeah, I'm
chasing
with it,
undefeated.
man. Yeah, listen, man. I'm not. We're not.
And I don't want to go undefeated unless we have to get the first round bye. I don't want to go undefeated.
Honestly, I didn't expect to go undefeated.
I still don't.
I said, yeah, I still don't expect to go undefeated. even the first couple of weeks when we were, 4-0, and I was like, oh, it feels nice.
Yeah, but it's coming.
But I still don't. Yeah, I'm like still waiting because it happens like that. Like I
Yeah.
said, it's the NFL, man.
And the Steelers have never been 10-0. Ever.
Never.
So it's not just us exaggerating. No, they literally have never been 10-0.
Yeah, bro. This shit, man. Hey, like I said, I'm hyped.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
hyped.
ready, man. And I think the Steelers are one of the two best teams in the league. I don't think they're quite with Kansas City just yet, just because of Patrick Mahomes, and that offense is insane.
It
Their
is.
offense is way better than our offense, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. But their defense is not as good as ours.
Not as good, right? And that's where I can say, honestly, I think we may be right there with them, and and I'm only saying that is because of our defense. I mean, I think our defense is pretty well stacked. And I think even if we do see them, in the play, down the road, I do believe that our guys is going to do enough to slow them down, and give Ben an opportunity to try, and try and throw the ball, get some points up.
Yeah. Well, he's never gotten the respect that he's deserved his whole career. I mean, it's nothing new, really. But, Ben, I think, is one of the best guys in the league at running no huddle and calling his own plays.
Yeah, definitely. He can definitely do that. Yeah, I will give him that.
If you notice, like, every time we have like Randy Fichtner, our offensive coordinator, calling the plays and everything, when it's just a huddle straight up, we kind of get in those lows that we talked about earlier. But whenever Ben switches to no huddle, we start moving.
We do. It does. And because he knows how to read the defenses pretty good too. So, I'm sure he knows how to, work around all that shit.
Yeah. So yeah. But now that we're done with that, let me I want to talk about something.
Yeah.
All right. Something that I just happened to see right before you logged on, actually.
Okay.
I'm sure you probably wouldn't be able to see it, but I'll just read it to you. This is from Pro Football Talk or whatever.
Okay.
Just let me get to it. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, so this is as of November 20th, so as of Friday. So that was before we played the Jags, of course, right?
All
right. So this is Chris Sims, the guy who's on Pro Football Talk and all that shit. This is his midseason top 10 quarterbacks, all right?
Yeah.
I'll go from 1 to 10, and you let me know what you think of this list.
Gotcha.
Right. Number 1 and number 2, and even number 3, I'm not really, argumentative about. Patrick Mahomes is number 1. I got no arguments with that. Aaron Rodgers is number 2. And Russell Wilson's number 3. All right.
Okay.
So this is when it starts getting a little bit crazy, in my opinion. All right. So, and also, just so you know, Ben is not on this list. All right. But number 4, Kyler Murray. I almost can kind of see that, but no, I'm sorry. Josh Allen, no fucking way. Deshaun Watson, he hasn't produced consistently enough. Lamar Jackson is number 7. Lamar Jackson is number 7. Are you fucking kidding me? Lamar Jackson.
Wait, hold on.
All right. And that's not even the worst of it, all right? Lamar Jackson's number 7, and rounding out 8, 9, and 10, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, and Ryan Tannehill. Those are the guys that they say are better than Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I would have to completely disagree. I don't think. Is he still watching last year's games? Is that what it is?
I know, man.
I don't know, because I seriously, I don't feel like Lamar Jackson should be on that list.
Period.
Because he's definitely not doing enough this year.
If this is the list of the most elusive quarterbacks, then yeah,
maybe
I'll give him that. Sure, maybe even rank him a little higher, because he is elusive. But this is top 10 quarterbacks. Period. He doesn't even have Tom Brady on there.
I
which is
don't.
kind
Yeah.
of surprising, because you know how much they like to suck the dick of
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Right. Yeah. They be dick riding.
Yeah, but
But
now they're doing that with Patrick Mahomes. But I mean, Pat Mahomes, I have no issue with him being
no issue. Yeah. No
no
issues
issue at
with
all.
that. I mean,
He
and
is the best quarterback in the league.
I'm like,
Not
if you're
even
gonna have Aaron Rodgers, man, I'm
yeah.
nah. Ben,
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is okay, but he should definitely
he's
be on that list.
yeah, Big Ben should definitely be on that list. I mean, shit. I came across something else that somebody was saying that he deserves to be even in the MVP race,
Yeah.
considering that he had that injury
Mhm.
with the elbow. We had an okay season last year. Well, and this year we're undefeated.
Right.
And like you said before, nobody's really talking about it. Nobody's really making this a big deal.
I have been saying, man, the Steelers are the most disrespected undefeated team I've ever seen.
I think so too, man. And you really, I don't know, man.
It's crazy to me though, because like before every big game the Steelers have, whether it be that one against the Browns we had earlier in the year when they were rolling, against
Yeah,
the Titans when they were undefeated, and then of
yeah,
course against the Ravens,
that
before
was it.
every one of those games, the guys were saying like, oh, well, we'll get to know a little bit about what the Steelers are about, after this game, and everybody's picking the other team to beat us. And what did we do? We beat the shit out the Browns, sent them back
Yeah,
home with their tails between their legs.
yeah,
Then we were dominating Tennessee. We let them get back in that game. We were up
yeah,
27
yeah.
to
We
3
sure
or
did.
27 to
Yeah,
7 in that game. And we let them come back because just a bunch of weird shit started happening in the second half.
yeah.
And, there was one tipped ball that Minka should have had as a pick, but it bounced off his hand right into Adam Thielen or Adam Humphreys' hands. And then
Yeah, yeah.
next play, he's got a touchdown. I'm like, come on, man.
That shit was
It's
wild.
like little shit like that kept happening. I'm not trying to make excuses, and I'm sure to a non-Steeler fan, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
I'm not, man. And Ben Roethlisberger, keep in mind, he has 5 interceptions, right? Five
but
interceptions on the year.
yep.
3 of those came against Tennessee.
Yeah, and like I
3 of
said,
those.
yeah, and I know that even the first one that he threw was going into halftime, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other two were just fluke. I think one was batted, and the other one,
Yeah. The other one was a bad throw by him. He's
I
allowed to
think that's
have
what it
one
was.
bad throw. I mean,
I
he's
mean,
not God.
right, and but we know what he's capable of doing too, man. He's going to gamble on some opportunities.
Yeah. And that's what you got to expect with Ben. It's like a
Right.
love-hate thing,
Yeah,
You hate when he does it until he makes a play, and you're like, I love that he's like that.
Facts, right? Because you know what I'm saying. He's not going to show that. You know what I'm saying. He's scared. He's definitely not scared. He's going to throw that ball.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. But like you said, when it doesn't happen the way we want it to happen, then that's when we get in our bag.
Yeah.
But
But I even watched a little
but
highlight or a clip or whatever of Stephen A. Smith, on First Take or whatever. And I
yeah,
could take or
yeah.
leave what he says because he claims to be a Steeler fan, but I like to challenge that. I'd like to throw the challenge flag on that shit.
Yeah.
He said today, I was watching it, he said on First Take that he thinks the Steelers at 10-0 are overrated. How? I want to know how. Like, who has given us enough respect for us to be
I
overrated?
don't know. I don't know what it is, man. I mean, are we? I mean, we're nothing like New England when Tom Brady was there.
Right.
I mean, we definitely spread the ball around. I just don't get it either. There's nothing that I can think of.
Yeah. And I've been reading up a lot about the Ben thing and the Steelers being overrated and all that shit because it's really starting to get on my nerves because there was one guy on Pro Football Focus, it's like another podcast or whatever that they do. One guy said, and this was like last week, I think, the Steelers are not the best team in the NFL, although I do agree with that to a certain extent. They're not the best team in the NFL, but
Fuck that.
Ben
I'd have to say
Roethlisberger is holding them back, is what the dude
no,
said.
no, 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 no,
Like,
no, no.
my
I don't
thing,
agree with
though,
that. Listen,
like, how could
Ben,
you go ahead?
go ahead.
I was just
I
gonna
was
say, how could you be 8-8 without your starting quarterback last year and only
right.
18 touchdowns throughout the entire year?
Right.
That's what they had passing the ball. How can you beat that? And then when you get your starter back, you're undefeated and you have 24 touchdowns on the season passing the ball. How,
Facts.
like, what?
I don't get it. And again, I'm gonna bring up the fact that he had elbow surgery.
Mhm.
I'm like, this man is what, about 40? Is he like 38 or is
38.
he
38.
38 years old? Okay. He's been in the league, what, 17 years,
Yep.
17 seasons?
17.
This man, if you look at it, if you compare him to Pat Mahomes, if you compare him to Lamar Jackson, Kyle Murray, Josh Allen, all those guys, they have legs. They can run. They can get out of the pocket. Ben is doing this shit right behind the line in the pocket.
Yeah.
Ben doesn't move like that.
No.
That's why I said Ben has the ability to read defenses and throw the ball. He can sit there and pick apart the defense if he really wanted to. Is again, I think the receivers,
Yeah, he's still trying to
they
get on
underestimate
page with
how
these guys.
fast that ball's coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I said when I like Ray McLeod. I like Deontay Johnson, and those guys, the younger guys. I like them. They can produce, but they gotta get it. They gotta get it. They gotta do a little bit more because I know that every time Ben throws the ball to Juju, it's almost a guaranteed catch.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ebron. Ebron been in the league for a while. We just got him in, but it's like when we throw the ball, you kind of almost can guarantee that he's going to come down with the ball too. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like I feel like those guys have the experience. You know what I'm saying? I think these younger guys, they're good. I do. I give them their credit and whatnot. But
Right.
I think, like I said, they're only going to get better. Like I said, we just leave, and they said it too. We just leave too many points out on the field.
Yeah.
But again, Ben is doing this. I think he's helping carry this team.
Yeah, he absolutely.
I mean, cause shit, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be 10-0, right? If it wasn't for him in the defense.
Yeah. I mean, you saw what our team was last year without him.
Yeah, fucking hated watching the games, man. I was like, you know what? I was excited when we picked Josh Dobbs back up.
I was too. I'd rather see him start if Ben gets hurt.
Bro. I was like, yo, when Ben actually hurt his elbow, and I was like, well, fuck. Yeah. Now we got to go with this guy, and I'm like, and we had just traded Josh Dobbs.
I know.
I'm like, man.
And I was at that point, I was thinking Ben is done. I was like, man, we're gonna have to draft a quarterback now. Which I do think we need to do this coming off season, even if Ben doesn't retire
soon. Yeah,
because we need to be prepared for that.
Yeah,
we can't just be throwing a rookie to the wolves. I would prefer to get a nice young player this draft and have Ben kind of groom him a bit for at least 1 year, and then you can put him out there. And who cares if Ben has a problem with it? He's not going to be on your team much longer, because Ben, I love Ben, but he does tend to bitch sometimes. But, it's like, dude, you're not going to be there. All right. So they're planning for their future.
Yeah.
But, I get he's a competitor. He wants to, always be the guy, but it's not like they're going to bench Big Ben when he's still playing.
Oh, yeah. Well, as long as he's still a part of the team, he's going to be there. He's going to be our guy.
Right. As long as he is not hurt, he will be the starter every single Sunday, Thursday, and Monday. Every single one. He will be in the game unless he's hurt. He ain't in danger of losing his job.
Very true. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again. Ben, 38.
Yeah.
That man big. He ain't got legs like that. And he's still slinging the ball. I mean, he's up there.
Yeah, you saw him try to throw a block this weekend, against Jags.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, let's go, Ben.
Yeah, he's just kind of threw his body a little bit,
I saw it.
in motion.
I got a little scared. I got just a little scared. I was like, oh shit,
there, Ben. I was like, I appreciate you trying to make a play, but
right.
We
don't need him getting hurt no more. Yeah. Hey, yo, yeah. But shit, that was exciting.
Yeah, I don't think Ben's holding us back. I think Ben is the reason why we are 10-0. Like him and the defense. You know?
Yeah, I absolutely. That's why I said, yeah, I absolutely believe that Ben deserves a lot more credit than what he's, what
Getting
he's up to. So
and what he's gonna probably get. It's just like whenever Kansas City squeaks by a team, it's like, oh, Patrick Mahomes is amazing, but whenever we squeak by a team, it's like, oh, the Steelers are frauds. Like, what?
yeah,
They have
I
a
don't get
weaker
it, man.
strength of schedule than us, and we're 10-0, and they got a loss and almost lost last week and
And
really
they
should have
almost,
lost to Carolina a couple weeks ago.
yeah. So I was watching that game, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was close as hell, man. Even like I said, even again yesterday against the Raiders, that shit was going back and forth.
Yeah, they act like the Chiefs are blowing teams out. They're not blowing anybody out.
No, no, no,
Like
no.
they blew out the Jets.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
blows
was
out the
gonna bring it.
Jets.
Yeah, right. And I was like, yeah. So I'm like, a lot of people, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna say what they want to say. They're gonna talk this shit, especially if their team is not up on top. They can go ahead and say whatever.
Yeah. We'll just keep winning.
Yeah, that's basically
Yeah.
That's just we're just gonna keep on coming out. And we're
Yeah.
gonna play our game,
Yeah.
whether if it's slow or wait. Because I've even heard that people have said to me that they don't like watching Steeler games because it's boring, and I'm like,
When it's boring, I like it.
okay,
I don't
all right,
want an
well,
exciting,
all right, I'll
stressful
see you after this
game.
win.
Yeah. You
Like,
go enjoy your Patrick Mahomes no defense game.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, whatever. It don't hurt my feelings none.
People just hate on Pittsburgh. They just love to hate on them. So it's fine. Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm like, I'm happy where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But
I mean, being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I mean, we're always gonna see, where we can make improvements and whatnot. But
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, man. So, and I guess just to end things, it's just, looking forward to the big game on Thursday,
Thursday,
good
yeah,
nightcap after all the turkey,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'll still be awake. Maybe I will. I mean, you know how that tryptophan is, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I have unless you wanted to add anything else.
I got nothing else, man. This was I got nothing. This was pretty fun. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I look forward to doing the next one.
Yeah.
And
And appreciate all you guys for watching and listening and all
facts.
that. And we will see you guys next time.